Luca Nation, I'm going to hit record here because I want to have some fun this Saturday evening, okay? I want to have some fun. So it's your weekend edition of Lucas Tigers and Bronzo Mine, your PWCC weekly auction episode, which honestly, buying on PWCC is maybe more addicting than gambling because like Saturday comes around and I'm already itching. Like I'm like, is it not something like I want to buy something? So, but first, if it's okay with you, I want to do like a speed round. I have maybe like 15, 12 comparisons, right? Of this or that. And we haven't done this in a while. So maybe we'll go through it.
I have to pick one?
Yeah. So it's like, it's buy or sell. Like Garland or Poole. Who would you be buying? Mac Jones or Tua? Lance or Tua?
Right.
Like this.
Cool.
Because we'll go through individually and have picks and all that. And like, hey, take a look at this card or, the stuff we always do.
Yeah, of course.
I think a speed round would be fun. So that's one thing I have on the agenda. We could do that at any point. I haven't seen you all day. You went Halloween shopping, Cage. You probably missed me. So
of course, we spoke.
We spoke.
You were having Chick-fil-A, which you didn't send me any, which is kind of upsetting. I mean, next time you're eating Chick-fil-A on a call, I should have some Chick-fil-A too. Maybe I should just order some now.
It's a very weird thing to say, but
have for tomorrow. What I should have
when
Chick-fil-A
I order
also?
food, I should order food for.
Or let me know ahead of time, because I feel like if you're having Chick-fil-A, immediately I'm going to want to have Chick-fil-A too, because I could hear it. I could hear the waffle fries being crunched. I could hear the pickles. I could just it talks to me.
You have
it
issues.
Just does. I mean, I may have issues. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong at all. I mean, I may very well have issues. Did you see my story? I have a funny little story up there where I said, if you're going to name your company Tag, you better be setting this up at the National. And it's like a scene from the movie Tag where they're like tagging each other and stuff like that. And yeah,
Tag and Prism.
Prism.
Are your two calling cards.
I need Prism. I'm going to tell you, somebody better make me some Prism. That will be a lot of fun. Yeah, man. I mean, listen.
Are you even in the hobby these days? Are you even buying and selling cards, or are you just buying Halloween gifts and Chick-fil-A?
I have purchased. Well, I'll be at a card show tomorrow, most likely. Maybe for the first hour, just run back quick and do our whatnot show tomorrow morning to do the NFL stuff. Now that we moved back, instead of going, I used to do the show and then go to the card show. Now I will think about going to the card show early and then coming back here. Maybe we'll see. Just to get Ian over there. I've opened 4 boxes of the 2021 medal. Pulled some nice stuff. I have some Merlin soccer to open. I opened 3 blasters of metal Spider-Man with Ian, which were terrible. I've opened several boxes with Ian. Pokemon this week, Lost Origins just came out. So we opened up 2 full booster boxes and a couple of elite trainers. Got some cool cards out of that.
I asked you if you're part of the hobby, not part of the breaking community.
Well, but I'm not breaking. I'm opening these.
You've always been the godfather of the breakers. I've gone to a few of these. Like they have your pick. The godfather of the breakers is Cage, but in the hobby, I'm talking about cards. Singles.
So opening boxes of cards is not being in the hobby. Only what you do, trying to buy on PWCC and sell them on whatnot one day later for more money. That's the way you are part of the hobby. Okay, no, I'm not doing that.
Nice
You're right. I'm not part of the hobby.
I wish it was one day later. I have to wait at least a week.
Oh, okay. So I've purchased cards from the last few, premier auctions. I'm bidding in the premier auction here. I've bought a couple of Type 1s, recently. I could show you a couple of those. I had PWCC send me some cards. I've also bought some cards in the last few weekly auctions. We talked about that. A couple of weeks ago, you were making fun of my purchases. You liked my Christian McCaffrey purchases, but you didn't like my Jordan Love purchases. And, I have.
I'm not a big. I don't live in the past, so that was. I mean, that feels like it was ages ago.
Oh yeah, ages, couple weeks, a couple weeks. But
I guess cards are for the patient, huh?
I mean, yeah, I have a different, outlook on this stuff, which is why I don't usually buy too much super modern stuff. I mean, it really is. It's really crazy to say, but I mean, look, I got enough pulling on my heart and my blood pressure. You know what I mean? Like fried chicken, buffalo wings. All kinds of stuff. I don't need the extra stress of Zach Wilson hurt himself, and look at what's going on with Herbert's ribs, and look how easy it is for these quarterbacks to get hurt and or underperform, and Trey Lance, who wants to dance but instead he shits his pants.
Lap dance. Have you seen the video?
Lap dance slants. Yeah, I saw it. I have a feeling that's actually going to help his collector base because I've met a few people in the hobby, and I have a feeling. I mean, young quarterbacks now they go after their friends' moms, and Trey Lance, lap dance Lance. I mean, I can't. Let me tell you something. You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make it up. But we are in an interesting space here because we get to talk about it. So, I mean, I like it, and I'm still buying plenty of cards. Ian has fun opening boxes. He has fun opening Pokemon stuff. So we're doing that. I'm in a little bit of a fun. We could do another episode about this. But I just open boxes of cards. I have some cards. The question becomes, what do I do with them? Right? Do I grade them? Does grading some of those with SGC and basically getting them back within 2 weeks, does that actually help the secondary market value of some of these cards? Do people, will people pay a premium for some of these cards in an SGC slab? Do I want to put them in a PSA slab and wait for a long time to get them in a PSA slab, and by that time has the heat on a product like this rubbed off? And I'm speaking from truth here, because during the national July 18th the July special $18, so that we had something to talk about, and I haven't really mentioned this, I put in an order so that I could have something to talk about and say, all right, I got it back, all right, I didn't get it back. And we are a couple of days away from it being 2 months, because I got it scanned as received on July 28th, and it's still in research and IT. So if I extrapolate that out, if I give these cards in, basketball season might be over. I don't know.
It usually is. The old PSA was once it hits grading 2 weeks and then it's back, right? That was kind of the
something like that. Yeah, I mean something like that. Once it hit the actual grading and review and stuff.
I take back what I said. Cage, he's grading, he's ripping.
But I'm curious about what to do with them, and I have cards at SGC right now too, where the day they get in there, they get uploaded, not graded, but they get uploaded. So I mean, it's an interesting question. I got a whole bunch of cards, and what do you do with them? Do you sell raw? And if so, where? In a Facebook group somewhere? I mean, you sell it on your show, on whatnot? I don't know the answer.
Yeah, you got to go to direct-to-consumer consignment these days. Like I would go either Probstein or whatnot. Got a different question, but really, Cage is evolving in front of your eyes, guys. He entered this. He was dabbling in business and 100% in cards. Now, this week was a big week. We went from a podcast to a network, right? And that comes with all of its own, challenges and opportunities. What have you done this week?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because it has been a crazy week for other reasons, I got to tell you. I had an electrician come to my house today, and it is just going to be an absolute nightmare. And it's going to be, I mean,
how do you live?
When money comes in, money goes out, and before the money comes in, it's spent, and you're spending the next money that's coming in. So it's an interesting thing. It really is. I got some bad news today. I was hoping for some good news. But look, as far as bad news goes, it's relative. Right? The pool and the electric and the whole deal. It's definitely not going to be pretty yet. It's going to take a while, and it's going to be a headache.
Why are you being such a drama queen? Like, they have to, fix stuff. It's not like, what do you mean it's not going to be pretty? Like, you know what I mean?
It's not going to be pretty for my wallet.
Okay,
gotcha. No real easy, and it's also going to take a while, and it's going to be, a lengthy.
You're not going to rip up the house and rip up the drywall.
No, but I may be ripping up the backyard
to get to take the pool out. That's how big the issue is.
No, but there's electric that runs the pool, and the electric is on one side of the yard, and it's under stuff. So to get the electric fixed, you gotta get under stuff, and it's a whole to do. So yeah, I would say it's worse than ripping down drywall if that's your your comparison.
All right, fine. So anyway, guys, I'll tell you what I'm proud of.
So I want to escape that crap and come and hang out and talk about cards today, or
Good.
this or that.
You know what I'm proud of, guys? I'm proud of when Cage and I started this. I've been trying to be like an entrepreneur for a very long time, and there was ups, downs, learning lessons, and all that. I'm don't hide that from you guys. I used to sell websites and all this stuff, and it's fun. I've enjoyed this game. But one thing I've really struggled with was working with a team. And what I'm really proud of, Cage, is this week we came together as a team. I'm proud of what our team has been able to accomplish, and I'm proud of what we can accomplish together moving forward. And we always say,
it's very nice.
You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. I think we're at a stage in the hobby where you see this consolidation, not of just cards and money, but of talent. And companies, people aren't leaving the hobby. They're re-teaming up Curry, Clay, and Durant to say, how can we build a better business for the community? And I think that's a very inspiring thing. And if you look around, you're like, these are really awesome teams being built. Oh, true collectors. Jay Lee going to tag. You say tag.
Tag, you're it.
Great hire for them. That's a guy who loves the hobby. He's been a part of the hobby. And we've got a chance to kick it. I know him from afar. That's one example. Sports card nonsense guys. They got an office. Looks hella professional. Like it's cool to see Card Ladder, what they're doing. So I think people are teaming up. I mean, PWCC is just straight like their offseason moves have just been insane. Maybe the best offseason since the Heat brought LeBron in, but that's what I was thinking about. You want to get into it?
You're like your team. I like it. Our team's the best. I couldn't do anything without them. No, for this week, what would I be proud of from this week?
Don't force it.
I can't tell you, man.
You have an electrical outage. You have to fix the pool. You're in.
Can't tell you.
I'll carry us on this episode like I carried us for 803.
I went for a walk every day this week. I'm getting my steps in. I'm proud of that. Little goals, man. I can't look beyond this week. You told me about 14 things you wanted to do with the business this week, and all 14 of them, I told you, why don't we accomplish the 14 things you wanted to accomplish last week before we get to the 14 from this week? So that's, I guess, here's my deal. Yes, what I'm most proud of is that the brakes still work on this car. No matter how much you want to supercharge the engine, you want to put a bigger engine in it, I can still pump the brakes. That's what I'm happy about. And we still have that push and pull. I think the audience, our listeners love it. We've had some fun topics this week too. Getting a lot of nice messages from people about some of the stuff that we're talking about on our show. So that's good too. Some people like
the Brady rumors.
The Brady rumors. No, people like when you go a little on tilt. Actually, is what I'm being told from some pretty significant members of the hobby community. People like that you're saying some of the things that they want to say but can't. So that's interesting. I will tell you that much. That's definitely interesting.
I want you guys to know. From me personally, I will never tell you guys what to do or what to buy. I've evolved, or I'm trying to evolve as a host of the show, and I want to be more of what I am doing, and here's the feedback that I've gotten from doing that, whether that's with cards, with business, with ideas and such, because I never wanted our content to be how-to. I wanted it to be more how I am doing, and here's what I've learned.
How am I doing?
You want to get into the showcase?
That's Mel Koch. That's not Mel. That's Ed Koch. That was the mayor of New York. He would say, "How am I doing?" That was his big thing. He wanted to have people to tell him how he was doing. How am I doing? Look him up. So now you're Ed Koch. I like it. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Listen, man. Here's the thing. I got to tell you, cards are fun. And I like your consolidation stuff, right? Because the hobby can consolidate the same way people consolidate their PCs, the same way businesses consolidate in the hobby, the same way Fanatics is consolidating in the entire world of, card manufacturers. I imagine that's probably going to happen in other walks of the hobby, just like it happens in other businesses as well. I started going through some of my pictures, for the hobby for the last couple of years. My phone gets a little jammed up and deletes some photos and stuff. Look at Top Shot pictures. Look at posts from our numbers from when it started. And there were a couple pictures of card shows, the local one that I used to go to here, and it's amazing how crowded it was in 2020. like how many people there were going to the card show, and that was an interesting thing, like line out the door. I go to the same local show. It doesn't have the same kind of, crowds that it used to have. But there's, I believe, a much more sophisticated consumer involved. The dealers have, different inventory. People are they're there trading, dealing, you name it. And the shows themselves have gotten better. So, I mean, I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to consolidation, and I hope the same thing happens with us. I think we get more sophisticated, and the content we put out overall is going to be better, and hobefully people continue to get more value from it. So yeah, that's I like it. I like where you're going. But yeah, we can jump into the show.
What if we stop thinking about the hobby as like, oh, I saw this in the 80s and then there was a lull? What if we stretch it and say this hobby has been evolving for 40 years? And look through that lens, because I agree with you. I think it's a much more sophisticated collector base, and you pair that with technology, and I think the reach of the hobby is vast. Whereas the hobby maybe in the 80s and 90s, it was very localized, right?
Yeah.
Now with tech, and because tech really bridges so many things, now it's one degree of separation. You have the sophisticated collector base, and it's niche, right? You have game worn, you have the digital side, and then you have true cards, and you have like Type 1 and all that stuff. So you have these sophisticated collector bases, and then you have vast reach. So it's really interesting to watch it evolve. It really is. I think we're building an industry.
The evolution of it also is going to extend to other things, because, PWCC just announced this week that they're going into memorabilia and comics and cards and that kind of stuff. And I'm sure we're going to talk to them in the coming weeks about that and their expansion there. Maybe we'll have some more information to share. And obviously it comes at the right time to expand into those areas, because we just had, the Michael Jordan jersey sell for like $10 million. Yep. So I mean, as long as that stuff keeps happening, and as long as, the headlines are there, and that draws more people into collecting, you mentioned Type 1, there hasn't been a $10 million Type 1 sale, but, jerseys.
Can I give you business idea 15? I was going to call you. Guys, it's funny, our dynamic. I wish we could capture it. Sometimes I don't call Cage with my immediate first idea because I know he's going to yell at me.
That's right. But he has to tweak it, so it's not an immediate no.
So this is an ask for the community. A show that I would love to produce, and I'll put the resources on our team behind this, is called Game Worn. And I would love for someone in the audience to educate the community on Game Worn memorabilia and how to decipher between all of the ranges of Game Worn versus like Game Worn and photo matched with complete certainty. I would love to have a segment on our channel that's educational about Game Worn.
I know someone who could do it.
Cool.
I got a person in mind.
Because before we're always going to be education driven. Cage is hilarious, so he's an entertainer. But like, I think a lot of people, when they saw that Jordan jersey, they're like, "Huh, this is interesting, but I want to know more. What makes that jersey special? How do I get that same type of jersey of my favorite player?" Right. So I think having a channel like that and bringing on different guests would be fascinating. Anyway, sorry to cut you off, Cage.
No, I think you're 100% right, and it's part of the expansion. And I mean, it's just fun stuff, right? I mean, the hobby, I think, all the resources that are coming into it now, and the fact that obviously there's more involved, but it's still smaller because of tech, because of the internet, you name it. I think that's what'll make it different, this go round, rather than just the ebbs and the flows that we've seen. So yeah, we can jump into whatever you like. You want to give me this or that, and we could talk about them.
Did you find any cards that we could spotlight before you go this or that?
You mean within the auction?
Yes, because you always have a few that you pick. I have a player to take a look at this auction.
100%. I can run through them quick. That way we don't spend, a million times, we don't spell a whole bunch of it.
That was scary, guys, because I didn't know if he had those cards.
No, I do.
His electrical outage and the wire.
Well, the electric in the house is fine. It's just
he still comes prepared.
So I'm going to go all over the spectrum with this, right? We're going to go everything from,
Definitely, I don't put the electrical cord in the water and jump in. I'm
going to try not to, but I might. After today, I might actually. The first 10 minutes of this episode really made me want to. So I hope you guys are still with us. So, all right, you ready? For those people who are still collecting F1, right? I haven't really heard too much about it. I haven't really seen too many posts from our friends. Haven't really seen anybody, talking about what to buy or anything like that. I'm sure there are still 3 or 4 people who collect F1. By the way, if you are a soccer fan or a wrestling fan or a UFC fan, please pay attention to that cycle. Pay attention to all of the attention that was being paid to the cards and the posts that were being made and the fact that it is now radio silence. This is what I was afraid of for what I call fringe sports. I apologize to anyone who's a fan of this, but fringe sports, the non-main sports, the 4 sports that we all kind of, cards have been around for a while. Any quote-unquote fringe sport, when the market is not doing great, I've been, running around, the Redcoats are coming, Ricola, whatever announcement I can make, I've been, yelling and trumpeting about it, be careful. And that could be Mr. Alcaraz. That could be, a whole bunch of things. But, when that bluster of bullshit seems to disappear, all of a sudden, there's a lot less people. That said, for F1, there is one set and one driver right now who is just head and shoulders above the field, going to be a repeat champ. The first Chrome from 2020, Topps Chrome, Formula One, Max Verstappen. The autos are numbered out of 52. So you got his autograph. It's in PSA slab, PSA 8 out of 52. I mean, he's going to win another championship. He's a young driver. He's going to be doing it for a long time. It's a cool card. And if you are in F1 looking for, a what someone's first auto is, this is it. And it's a limited auto. It's, checks almost every box that you're going to have. You want to get into some, some
real quick.
Yeah, please.
I don't know why I like this, but I love when cards are numbered to just a weird number. I don't know what it is about it. Why is that number to 52? Do you know?
No clue.
Cool. Let's keep rocking.
I have no idea. I'm sure there is a reason.
Am I the only one with that? Like, I love when it's like 77 or 52 or 17.
All right. How about out of 39? That's the Black Velocity number, but way before Panini was even printing these cards and had the license. In 05, that was the finest gold refractor number. And there was a LeBron 2005 finest gold refractor. Really cool, like eye-catching card if you want to pull it up and take a look. It's not one that everybody knows until you take a look at it. It's in a BGS 9.5 gem mint. I don't know what happens to LeBron's cards, but this is a cool one, and it's limited to 39, an oddball number like you like. So it's 05 finest gold refractor, LeBron out of 39, BGS 9.5.
You're just a little slow. So.
Take your time. It's all right. You take your time. We're gonna pull up the other one that's up there too. But yeah, pretty cool card, right?
Pricing.
I mean, you asked for the cards that caught my eye. Some of the pricier ones catch my eye, and are the ones that I like to talk about. If you just hit back, you'll see the 04 Topps Chrome Gold LeBron, the second-year gold right there in PSA 9. That's another great one. It goes for a fraction of his first year. When the market was great, you and a lot of other people spend time talking about how second-year cards were an investment, and second-year cards are great. Go out and buy your Tatis Chrome Refractor second year because everyone's going to love it the second year. So if you are a believer that second year are good investments because they're a fraction of rookie, that's a cool card. But there's some basketball stuff. I will go into baseball now. This is a really cool card. There is an 89 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookie auto, PSA 10 with a 10 auto. So there are thousands of this card made, but there's the last time I looked for the 10-10, like ones that are graded 10 with a perfect auto on it, is less than 5 dozen, less than 60 of these out there in this grade. It's a cool way of having that, iconic card and also adding some rarity to it. So again, the 89 Upper Deck Griffey Jr. rookie auto with a 10 auto on it as well. It's a pretty sweet card. Most Griffey collectors would consider this, a grail type of card. Again, not cheap, but a cool card for baseball. Another baseball one.
Okay, just one right here, 10-10.
Yeah, yep, 10-10. Yep, cool card, right? See, that's autographed. I mean, not from a pack. Obviously, that's an aftermarket auto that they added to it and then graded a 10 on top of a card that's graded a 10 as well.
I think that's cool. So one of the plays that I had, or I don't want to call these plays, that's just like the way we used to refer to it, but something that I was looking at is Kobe rookie. But if the card isn't graded, does that change your opinion?
I mean, you pay more for a graded card. That's just the way the market is. Yeah, I mean, like,
do you want to pay that premium though? Right? Like, do you think that premium is worth it? So I'll show you the Kobe auto that I'm referencing.
Because especially on a Kobe auto, you want to make sure it's authentic. The grading of the card, does usually, if it's in a slab, does give you some idea that it's an authentic auto. It hasn't, been messed with, and the whole.
The auto is authentic, but I understand what you're saying. Like, this could be a reprint card in theory if it's not graded.
I mean, listen, this is fine. So on an item like this, no, I don't need it graded unless it's a chance to be a perfect 10 like that Griffey. But if it's a card that it's not, then I'm buying this for the autograph on the card. I'm not. I mean, to me, I don't care whether that particular item is graded. No.
I think it's cool. I think Kobe signing his rookie card. I don't think there's that many of those available. I don't know if you could run that serial number and get the cert. Can you? Well, you know how many?
No, I don't think so.
I can't imagine there's that many. But anyway, there's I remember his final game against Utah, the ticket stub that was signed, that was going for upwards of 20, 30, 40,000. I think it ended at 40,000 on an auction. I would say this is a similar collector. And I think this is going to finish for a fraction of the cost.
Okay. Sticking with baseball, there's a really nice 2018 Topps Chrome Gold Wave Refractor Shohei rookie auto out of 50 in PSA 10. Right? We could probably spend an entire episode on Shohei and whether or not he's worth buying at the prices that he's at. 2018 Topps Chrome Gold Wave Refractor Shohei. We've seen Mike Trout be one of the best baseball players of the generation. And I think if Shohei stays healthy, he has a chance to do the same thing. But if both of them are Angels players and the Angels are never really going to be contenders, what's the future for him and for his cards? So that's, it's an interesting long-term discussion. You can't really ask him to do much more than he did this year on the field. And this is a really nice card out of 50 in PSA 10. I think there's like a dozen, 12, 13, 14, something like that of these in PSA 10. So real nice, a really nice card. And that does it for baseball. I can just move it to football. First one, I want you to just type in Justin Herbert stained glass. I think it's a PSA 10. Maybe somebody, maybe you get one or two less bidders this week after he's a little dinged up, and maybe you're able to kind of steal this one here. You could take a look. That's a cool card, right? I mean, that's just a pretty card.
I love the stained glass, dude. I don't know why they changed the color this year, or maybe this is how they always do it. Maybe they did it to match his jersey, but it's an insane card. I agree.
So that's football. There's also, if you're a Lamar Jackson believer, there's a gold vinyl, and you can go on your diatribe about gold vinyl. This is 2018 Panini Prism Gold Vinyl Lamar PSA 9 auto. I think in that year, the rookie auto vinyls were out of 2. So this is card 2 of 2. Remember, some vinyls are out of 1, some are out of 5. I think this one's out of 2. So take a look at it. If you're a believer in him, that he's a former MVP, and this is a rookie and a rookie auto and a gold vinyl, are Lamar's cards too cheap? You know what I mean? That's sort of the question. So yeah, I mean that's.
I don't understand why 2018 they forgot to put the RC stamp. I think they did it for SGA too.
By the way, I looked that up. That Kobe that you have there on PSA's population report, if you hit PSA DNA certified, it shows that Kobe Bryant card, the card 138, which I think that is what that was. There are a total of 12 of them autographed, 4 authentics, a 4, 2 7s, 2 8s, and 3 9s. So it looks like it's pretty rare card, to have graded, with his auto on it. So I didn't want to steer folks wrong. I did click on that.
I appreciate that. That's another thing that I think that's a cool item. There's not a lot of them. I would actually say I might prefer that to a game ticket that he signed.
The last card I looked at, and then we can talk about some other stuff, is it's a Brady rookie. It's a 2000 Fleer Showcase Brady. This is a PSA 8.5, so near mint plus. really condition sensitive Brady, these showcase ones that kind of have like a little flair look to them and stuff, right? I guess this comes down to a conversation you and I will probably have in this or that. Is a conversation we're going to have as the NFL season goes on. It'll probably be a conversation we have on our Whatnot show tomorrow morning at 11 Eastern, Luca Nation, Whatnot, lots of fun. Are the young guys overpriced? So Brady should be worth more? Because we see a Brady card like that. The people are paying more for Trevor Lawrence rookies now that are numbered, right? People are paying more for Mac Jones before last week. People are paying more for Trey Lance, shit his pants, do a lap dance, and make him dance. Is Brady stuff too cheap by comparison, or are those guys too expensive, and those are just going to come down to meet Brady? If you're a believer in Brady long term, you believe that these young quarterback prices are going to stay where they are and or go up. Then Brady stuff is too cheap by comparison, just overall. And this is a really cool looking card.
If you guys, we'll end with this. We're going to do this or that on Monday. So I'll tell you, we've done this before. It's kind of like a would you rather type of thing. Mbappe or Haaland, Mahomes or Brady, Rodgers, Wilson, Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry, LeBron, Curry. We're going to go through this list. Cage is going to give you his thoughts as we lead up into the NBA season and with the NFL season in full swing. Something to take a look at if you're buying on PWCC often. So the inventory that's for sale that week matters, okay? Mm-hmm. I've talked about that before, but I'll give you guys two players. Steph Curry, I'll start there. If you guys look at his cards and specifically his autos, he's got quite a few in this auction. Quite a few. I would say over a dozen autos of his are in this auction. And I would say 6 or 7 of them are on card. So what does that do? That gives people like collectors like yourself an opportunity to get one of those autos of his where it's not bid through the roof, right? You're able to get a deal. On the contrary, a guy like Mahomes has no huge cards in this week's auction when last week he had 3 big ones. He had a 1-of-1, he had a flawless, and he had an NT last week. This week he really doesn't have any big cards. He has his Prism base and all his Prism PSA. Watch how that inventory fluctuates, right? And if you're watching this week to week to week, you have your own players, your own search criteria. I believe save searches are coming in October, so that will help. But understand that the supply is what will dictate how the bidding works at the end, especially if there's competition for one huge item of an athlete. Make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. Before we log off, I just have a question for you, right? And I can't do a side-by-side comparison because people are pretty much hoarding their young basketball stars. Their Jalen Greens, and I hit a Josh Giddey PMG red in the box last night. I'm gonna sell that for $40,000 because this is what people are doing, right? So I'll use Jalen Green because I just beat the shit out of Jalen Green. I apologize, and I hope Jalen Green has a great year, and everybody is thrilled.
All of Luca Nation, if anybody out there can help Cage with his pool and electricity, please DM him.
I got an electrician, but I'll tell you about what has to be done. It's freaking insane. So anyway, it is what it is. You just don't want to mess around with it. I got kids going in pool electric. You want to make sure it's done the right way. That's all. So it's not something to kind of cheap out. So let me ask you something, right? Jalen Green. Give me another name. This way I'm not beating up Jalen Green all the time. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be somebody besides
Jalen Suggs or Orlando, the guy from
but nobody's buying Jalen Suggs. Sheesh. Like you're not helpful. Scotty Barnes. People buying Scotty Barnes. That's a good one also. Scotty Barnes.
Can't believe you guys side with Cage. This guy's a lunatic. How Jalen Suggs? That's a perfect. That's someone else in his class.
Yeah, but he sucks. He's like a lower ranked player. Like Jalen Green is a top pick who people are buying his cards like crazy. I don't know a single person buying Jalen Suggs. Yes, you're right. And Mobley was a good. That would have been a great one. I think Mobley would have been much better. Jalen Suggs on the Magic, not even the best rookie in the class of Magic. Franz Wagner was better than him. But that's like saying, all right,
that's an alpha for you guys, by the way.
Shaq.
Cage was on Franz Wagner early. Don't forget that. I remember you gave him it. Dude, he's got game. He's got some real game.
Shaq and Alonzo Mourning were in the same draft class. So, hey, you know anybody else in that draft class? And you tell me, yeah, Adam Keefe. Yeah,
I would say Keefe.
You'd say Adam Keefe or, Bryant Stiff. or you'd say Hubert Davis. They were all in the same draft class.
Are these your pseudonyms for your moonlighting
No, they
show?
were actually part of the same
Brian
293
Keith.
draft. That's the first round. Adam Keefe.
Adam Keefe.
He was for the Hawks. Todd Day. He was, I think, pick number 8 or 10 or something for the Milwaukee Bucks. So
guys,
you've got it now.
Asking questions.
So you got your Jalen Green. Yeah, because I asked you, give me, and then your answer is always wrong. My question is not wrong. The answer is. So, but great. We've got there. We got Jalen Green. We got Evan Mobley. We got Scotty Barnes. That's enough, right? You've seen how much people are paying for the cards of these guys, right? The top end cards, right? The national treasures, the RPAs, right? Thousands upon thousands of dollars for these because they're hoping that they start off hot and they could sell them to somebody, right? So if you got Jalen Green and Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes sitting in front of you, like, I'm going to make you the devil. You kind of look like the Blue Devil still, the Duke Blue Devil. You're the devil. You're going to make the devil's deal with these guys. You sit down and you're going to say, when all is finished, you guys are going to be in the top 50 NBA players of all time, right? By any list, right? Definitely the top 75 and the whole deal. And you're going to win 2 championships and be the finals MVP in both. You're going to finish in the MVP at least the top 5 several times. You're going to win the Defensive Player of the Year on top of that. And you're just going to be an all-around stud. You think those guys sign up for it? I do. I think every one of them takes your Blue Devil beard and says, are you kidding me? I'm the finals MVP twice. I'm winning 2 chips. And I'm the MVP of getting those championships. I'm the Defensive Player of the Year 2 times. I got 3 top 5 MVP finishes.
Can you stop talking about Hakeem Olajuwon and you could mask it better?
It's not Hakeem Olajuwon. It's not Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, you could use Olajuwon if you want, but I'm not talking about Olajuwon because the weekly auction doesn't have an Olajuwon in it, but it does have a 2012 National Treasures RPA out of 199, so it's a little different, of Kawhi Leonard.
He wasn't even the best player on that team. That's why.
Which team? There's 2 teams.
The Spurs.
Okay. Well, was he the best player on the Raptors when he won the Finals MVP? Was he the best?
Was the best player on the Raptors.
So in any event, that resume is one that any of these guys
shot against the Sixers. That was insane.
And Kawhi may come back this year. He may win more. This is not even a guy who's done and retired. My Olajuwon, and no one cares. This guy's coming back and playing, and they add to that resume, and yet this car is in the PWCC auction and getting no love by comparison to Jalen Green. Why? Because if you post this card on your Instagram, people are not going to be, oh, it's Jalen Green. No, everybody wants the new shiny toy, as Andrew likes to talk about.
I mean, if he starts out the season and the Clippers are in first or second place and he's putting up 25, 8-8, which is
so that's what we do here, right? You've now bought in a little bit to the cage system of let's limit our downside because a card like this, he's not dead, he's not retired, right? So you still get to capture some of that, exactly what you just talked about. You buy it now at a beat down price because he didn't play last year and because he's not the new shiny toy, but he's going to come out and he's a good team. Right? He's got some players on it. Maybe he's going to be healthy. And just like you said, he may come out and have numbers better than any of these young kids. And all of a sudden, people are looking for his stuff. And this is the kind of card that they're going to be looking for. And you bought it with the potential for upside and also a lot less potential downside. So that's kind of, you asked me,
am I still interesting about this card too? It's out of 199. Most NTs are out of 99. But I bet if you add up the parallels that go into NT now, 2012 has way less national treasures than today, even though
100%. I mean, I will say, if you're looking at this particular card, you can look at other ones. This particular card has a 9 auto, which I don't love, but it's weird because the auto is pretty nice. It's fully on the card. It doesn't go off the card. It doesn't really look smudged on it. I don't know why this is a 9, but whatever. It is what it is. But, the point is not
auto grading isn't real. Auto grading wasn't even a thing for a little while. Sorry.
I mean, this card's here, which is why I bring it up. But even if it wasn't, great. If you're a numbers guy, like let's shout out to Spintron. This guy's Kawhi's number was 2. This is card number 22.
Oh, and just like that, Luca Nation, join us tomorrow on Whatnot. The Prop King is back.
He better be better than last week, guys. Sheesh, that was bad.
Thank you all for listening to another episode of Lucas, Tigers, and Bronzo My. I wanted to tell you about a new service that we have starting as of today, and I'm really, really excited to bring it to you guys. So, as a part of our partnership with SGC, we got 50 free submissions every single month, and many of you have taken advantage of that. And it's amazing that we could have the opportunity to 650 episodes, 675 episodes in, to go ahead and give back to our community. As people were sending those cards in, they asked, can we send 5, 10, 20 more cards to you guys? We'll pay for it, but we wanted them graded with SGC. You guys know SGC is turning cards around in 13 to 14 business days, have incredible customer service, and their secondary market values are going up day after day after day. And that's exciting for the hobby and exciting for the grading landscape. So we didn't want to just rush into it. We wanted to do it right. And what we did was I relocated here to Boca Raton, Florida. I opened up a P.O. box maybe 5 minutes away from SGC, and I will be hand delivering and hand picking up the cards. So you don't have to worry about anyone else touching your cards. It will be me, and I will update you every step of the way. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to personally pick up the cards from a P.O. box, prep them, new card saver, new penny sleeve, and deliver them to SGC every single Tuesday. Why Tuesday? Well, it lets the stragglers over the weekend come back through on Monday and gives me a day to prep, and it basically gives SGC the entire week to work on grading those cards. Once your cards pop, only then at the end of the process will you be paying for the service. It's $25 per card, simple as that, and the turnaround times have never been faster. We're hearing right now 13, 14, less than 20 business days. So there it is. 9170 Glades Road, number 135 is the P.O. Box in Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. 9170 Glades Road, number 135, Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. Of course, you could shoot me an email or shoot me a text anytime, and I'm always available. Many of you already have my email. It's iamandrewgoldberg@gmail.com. or my cell phone number, 215-519-9154. Reach out with any questions. I could walk you through the process. I've hopped on the call with quite a few of you, and I'm happy to do that. Love you, Luca Nation.